I'm Sam Vitale, the Commission's General Counsel. This is a public hearing conducted by the Lynn Water and Sewer Commission. I want to thank all the participants who are here. I see members of the senior staff are present. This hearing is pursuant to a notice that was published and posted in accordance with the requirements of law. A copy of the notice has been submitted for the record and is to be made a part hereof. We will now entertain comments. I believe the first speaker is the Executive Director, Daniel O'Neill.
Thank you, Attorney Vitale. I'd like to read from a prepared statement into the record. Tonight's budget is the result of the review and input of all departments of the Lynn Water and Sewer Commission. The total proposed budget is $33,927,399. Of this amount, $23,970,583 is allocated to the Commission's operating budget, and $9,956,816 is allocated to the debt and reserve requirements of the Commission. The Commission's workforce has maintained a level of 59 full-time employees, excluding contract operators at both treatment facilities. With the current manpower and its associated expenditures, the Commission will continue to provide high-quality, award-winning water and wastewater services to the residents of Lynn. The Commission's third modified consent decree and its preliminary projected construction cost is now $200 million due to the need for a pump station to address climate change, tidal surges, and future rainfall events. 5 of the 10 CSO phase projects are being constructed or have been completed at the cost of $99,881,100. This project, along with its many mandatory regulatory programs, will require additional revenues for years to come. A new wastewater treatment facility contract with $74 million in capital improvements was executed in fiscal year 2022 and will place a significant financial burden on the Commission. Staff is committed to examining and evaluating all capital improvement projects to ensure that all projects are constructed effectively and efficiently. Inflationary cost increases have been mitigated by numerous actions, commencing with the refunding of general revenue bonds in previous years. This refunding, along with level-funded operating expenditures and health insurance modifications, has contributed to the stability of rates. Unfortunately, a rate is necessary to build up the rate in anticipation of the $200 million combined sewer overflow project and the new 20-year wastewater treatment plant contract with $74 million in capital improvements, which is coming very soon. This year, a 4% increase is necessary. The Commission's capital improvement program, fiscal year 2025 through 2027, includes $13,440,000 for improvements to the water system, $44,660,000 to the wastewater system, $70,125,000 to the combined sewer overflow program, and $3 million to other capital improvements projects. The Commission debt and reserve requirement is at 29% of the fiscal year 2025 total budget. During these difficult economic times, we will continue to prioritize the capital improvement program solely for projects mandated by the regulatory agencies. At this time, I'd like to yield the floor to the Commission's Treasurer, Ryan Boisel, to speak on the proposed rate structure and fee schedule.
Thanks, Dan. Good evening. My name is Ryan Boisel, Treasurer of the Lynn Water and Sewer Commission. I am reading from a prepared statement that I would like to offer for the record. The Executive Director gave a general overview of the proposed budget. I would like to speak more specifically on the revenues and expenses of the Commission. The fiscal year 2023 and fiscal year 2024 approved budgets added 4% to the rates of the Commission. A new forecast period through 2026 anticipates the need for additional revenues to support the mandated third modified consent order and the new 20-year operation and maintenance contract and capital improvements at the wastewater treatment plant, which began in July 2021. At this time, we are projecting stable sales will contribute to the Commission's revenue for fiscal year 2024 and will meet working capital requirements. It was projected that revenue from user charges would come in at approximately $35,966,461 for fiscal year 2024, and at this time we are projecting this amount will be met. Revenues will be used to offset the fiscal year 2025 rate revenue requirement and build working capital for the anticipated costs mentioned above. End of fiscal year transfers were made of $2 million in fiscal year 2021, $3 million in fiscal year 2022, and $3 million in fiscal year 2023 to fund these anticipated costs. Working capital remains at adequate levels to ensure cash flow. Expenses for the fiscal year 2025 budget proposal before debt service increases the operating budget by 0.025%. Inflationary and contractual obligations have contributed to this minor increase. Annual adjustments in healthcare costs, pension obligations, and workers' compensation are factors that affect the fringe benefit line item. The fiscal year 2024 expenses are in line with budget approved by the Commissioners. The expenses for this proposed fiscal year 2025 budget are projected to be $33,927,399. In preparation of the budget, the department head's goals were to level fund and cut line items where possible without limiting service to taxpayers. The Commission was able to keep the expenses incurred within inflationary adjustments. We will continue to work diligently in two other areas to bring fairness to all. One is to aggressively collect customer billings, and secondly, continue the meter changeout program to ensure each customer is being charged accurately. The Commission has been very fortunate in the ever-changing interest rate environment to refinance any eligible Commission debt, which was instrumental in reducing rate increases. The cost effectiveness of refunding its 2003 bonds in the fall of 2013 was beneficial, and the Commission took advantage of similar opportunities with the 2015 refunding of the 2005 bonds, and then again in the summer of 2021, refunding its 2011 bonds. The increasingly fixed nature of the Commission's expense budget has put a burden on the user rate revenue obligation. The rates in 2009 through 2018 have been in line with financial planning and have kept escalations of rate increases to a minimum. Debt service on the Westland CSO project, as well as the capital improvements at the wastewater treatment plant, will increase future budgets dramatically with an increase of $2.68 million in fiscal year 2025. Debt service projections for fiscal year 2026 show an additional increase of $3.78 million for a total projected debt service obligation of $14,097,829. A rate and fee schedule will be presented at the June 10th Commission meeting, increasing the current first block rate from $12.87 to $13.38, or 4%. Going forward, the Commission will continue to look closely at refinancing higher interest rate debt. Any new mandated projects would add an increased encumbrance to debt service and ultimately pressure the rate revenue requirement in future years. In conclusion, the proposed budget will meet contractual obligations of the Commission and pay debt service to the bondholders who have invested over $120 million in the Commission system. The Commission will meet all bond resolution debt covenants, ensure a positive bond rating by both Standard & Poor's and Moody's rating agencies, with the caveat that the Commission is at the mercy of the City of Lynn's financial stability, the agency's views of the impact of the third modified consent decree, and the current and future debt for the ongoing capital projects. Lastly, and most importantly, this proposed budget will provide the ratepayers with the services and the quality that they are paying for. Thank you.
Treasurer Boycell, were there any written submissions prior to this hearing?
There were none, Attorney Vitale.
Well then, thank you. Is there any other person who wishes to make a statement or a comment? Well then, hearing none, the purpose of this hearing was to gather information. I want to thank the Executive Director, our Treasurer, the members of the senior staff, Engineer Anthony Marino, Deputy Director Robert Pinnell, and all those who worked on this matter. The Commission's next scheduled meeting is here at headquarters of the Lynn Water and Sewer Commission at 400 Parkland Avenue. It will take place this coming Monday, which is the June the 10th. The Commission's deliberations with respect to the budget and the rate proposals will be made at this meeting. Once again, I want to thank all of you for participation in this year's rate hearing and wish you all a good evening.